All right, everybody. Well, welcome and happy Wednesday. I want to thank you for joining the call tonight and being open to learning about this revolutionary healing modality that just might change your world. I'm truly excited to share what I have my hands on because it is supporting the body do what it does best using our own light. So we're going to get into how that all happens in just a little bit, but just a little bit about me, how I got started on this patch 15 months ago. I am a health and empowerment coach, helping people to empower themselves, get healthy, become the best versions of themselves. And my focus around my own health started 6 years ago when I woke up to my program mind and decided to change my life, my lifestyle habits, my food choices. I lost 60 pounds, and that was just the beginning of my reinvention. So, being a lifelong learner, I'm constantly open to new information and embracing change. So, 15 months ago now, I was introduced to this revolutionary phototherapy patch. You can see it here right on my wrist. In the field of regenerative science and age reversal. And this has had a huge impact on me, my health, my business as a coach, the health of my loved ones, and those that I have shared this with. So, my personal belief really began with my 77-year-old mom. She started to experience benefits within 2 days of patching. Her debilitating knee pain, the inflammation that she had for years eased up. She was actually going to physio 3 times a week. And that first week, her physiotherapist noticed more mobility, less inflammation. She asked her what she was doing differently. And she said all that had changed was the sticker that her daughter put on her. My mom also started to experience better quality of sleep, deeper sleep. She noticed much more energy throughout the day, returning to her regular walking, gardening, swimming, caring for her younger grandkids, no longer needing those afternoon naps. For me, the benefits have been life-changing as well. I started sleeping through the night a couple of days after I started patching, having vivid dreams. I hadn't had that in years. I no longer have this lower back pain, this compression tightness that I had on and off for years, especially when I was standing or walking for long periods of time. No more visits to the chiropractor. This was within a couple of weeks of patching. I do not experience stiff and sore joints. I recover quicker after working out. My energy, my mental clarity, my focus have improved. I also notice this sense of calm and less anxious in this crazy world, which is always a good thing. But what truly fires me up is that I know that the best is yet to come. My body is healing and repairing and age reversing, as you will soon discover. So before we get into the formal part of this presentation, I'm actually going to have some people on the call share their powerful testimonials with you tonight. And I saw Shauna. Yes, you're there. If you would like to unmute yourself, Shauna, and share your testimonial with
Hello.
us.
Hi.
Hi there.
Okay. I feel kind of like Beth because I was also experiencing, oh my goodness, just so much pain, fatigue. I couldn't move. I mean, I went to doctor after doctor. I was so fed up, and I'm trying to make long story short. So I was diagnosed when I was in my 20s. I was diagnosed with MS. And it just really, I would have flare ups all the time. I refused to be on medication. I tried medication and it didn't really help. So, me forwarding back to this past March, my friend, who's also my nutritionist, recommended I use the patch. And I was like, what is this thing? What are you telling me I should wear? Anyway, I tried it because I was so desperate because I was so fed up with how I felt with I just didn't feel like I was a person to myself, like I was being a good person to myself, my family. And I went on this patch and I was just amazed by sorry, my son is coming over here and I'm trying to block him. I was amazed by the results. After 3 days, after 3 days, actually, this guy, he like tells me to stop dancing because I'm always dancing and singing now. Whereas before, I was just like, I felt like a couch potato. I couldn't move. Um, so, um, Jonathan, please, what I say. So, in any case, now I was on this couch for like 3 days and I was like, whoa, I was like, what's happening to me? I had all this energy. on my treadmill doing like 3 miles. I was like, this is not me. So now, while as someone explained to me, um, our health is not always linear. So it wasn't always going to be constant. Oh my God, I felt great. And there were days I didn't feel good. But when I compared it to what I felt like before, it was like completely so it was completely so much better. And I was telling Beth earlier today how I was on my trip. I was on a very long trip for 2 weeks in Europe. And every day it was so hot. It was 118 degrees, sometimes 100 degrees. And I was walking about 10 miles a day. I was like, what? I was like, this is insane. Because before, now we're talking about right before I went to, I started using the patch. I went to Florida, and Florida gets hot, and it was about 80 something degrees. I couldn't even withstand the 80 degrees. I was fatigued. I felt awful. And here I was in 118 degree weather, and the sun was always beating down on me. And here I am walking 10 miles a day. And I was just like, wow. I was so impressed. The other thing that I find completely amazing about this patch is that my immune system has really, really gotten better because I was always sick. They were always putting me on antibiotics, and knock on wood, things have been really great. And that was one thing I said to my nutritionist. It was also my friend. I said, listen, I said, that's one thing I am so grateful for with this patch, other than the energy level and the fact that I sleep so much better. Um, I really am grateful for the fact that I'm not on as many antibiotics as I used to be. So, yeah, I
Amazing.
mean, I mean, the story, is long, but I'm just trying to shorten it up. But yeah, I mean, I couldn't recommend it more.
Awesome.
And
Thank you so
now
much for sharing, Shauna.
my son's on it.
Wow.
And so is my husband, by the way. So
Amazing. That's so
yeah,
great. That's so
but
great. And
yeah.
I know that this has changed your state, your mental health state as well.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. I used to have really bad anxiety, panic attacks all the time.
Mhm.
And now, thankfully, like I'm so much calmer. I see life so much differently. And
Amazing.
like it's weird, it's not like a feeling of like a drug, it's just this natural state like where I feel calmer
Yeah.
and more relaxed, and I see things in a more positive way. And I mean,
Amazing.
you don't know me because I'm always dancing. But
Yeah, I know. I
yeah.
love it. I love seeing your videos, and I love that this has been life transforming for you. So thank you
Yes.
so much for
Oh,
sharing your
you're
story tonight.
welcome. You're welcome.
All right. Talk to you soon. Marcia, I'd love for you to unmute tonight and share your story with us.
Okay, Beth, thank you. So I was introduced to the patch about 8 months ago by my friend Beth Blackmore, and I was a skeptic, but I thought, okay, I'm going to do it. So I have a list here of things that I just want to talk about. So I've been on the patch now 8 months, and after the fourth month, I noticed that curvature of the spine had disappeared. I had curvature of the spine for decades. From age 16, I'm 73, so you can do the math. And that's from just 4 months. So we know that my stem cells that were dormant are getting reactivated. Second thing, this eyebrow used to be shorter and thinner than the right one, and now it's just as thick and the same length. So number two. Number three, I used to have a wart behind my left shin, and it's gone. Just one day I went to feel my leg, and there it is, gone. Fourth thing, brown roots are coming in at the top here and at the sides, and you can tell I'm gray. Fifth thing, I go to the gym. I've been going to the gym faithfully 4 times a week for 3.5 years, and I get a new workout routine from the trainer. And every time I get a new workout routine, it takes me a few days to settle in, get my muscles recovered. Now, with the patch, as soon as I start a new routine, it's like instant flexibility, instant recovery. Number six, I feel like I have total ease and comfort in my mind and in my body all the time. So those are some of the benefits for me. And I'm
Awesome.
on this patch for life. So the best is yet to come.
That's right. Yes, Marcia. Thank you for sharing all that tonight with us. We appreciate you on the team and sharing tonight. Okay, and I saw Guy Crittenden come in. If you're able to share and tell us your amazing story.
All right. All right. All right. How is everybody?
Great.
All right. Well, I'm looking kind of red right now because it's not that I'm sunburned, but I was at a festival for 3 days over the weekend and I got a lot of sun. So when I get in the sun, I turn red. I don't tan so much. So anyway, maybe the patch can make me less red.
It does help with sun sensitivity for sure. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, last time I did one of these, I spoke about a couple of things and I'll just update you. One was I used to have a palsy in my hand. Sorry, I have my blurred background on, so you don't. I'm in the basement, which is unfinished. So I don't want you to think my wife has put me in a prison or something. So look at my hand. Isn't that like my hand would have been in the past? Well, here, I'll do this one. It would have been shaking like that. I had palsy, especially in my left hand, which I thought was maybe from holding cell phones for 20 years. I couldn't fake this. Like, look at that. There's no shaking at all. Like that's just unbelievable. That is the number one benefit that I've seen. And that was something I was getting quite nervous about. You know, I'd go visit my mother and she'd say, "What, are you getting Parkinson's or something?" She was quite concerned about that. The other thing is on my hands, I had these I would call them precancerous growths. They were these raised areas. Um, I can't even find most of them now to even put a patch on them. By the way, just a pro tip, it doesn't really matter where you put the patch, especially it'll generate these stem cells or reactivate dormant stem cells. But I do find that if you put it on a specific thing on your skin or something, it'll have like an extra powerful effect on that one spot. The one I can't show you right now. I should take some pictures of it though. I mentioned this last time. Um, I had a growth on my right calf, my lower leg, that was about the size of a quarter. It was quite thick. I'd say it was maybe up to an eighth of an inch thick, or maybe a 16th of an inch. I'm just guessing, but it had thickness to it, and it was very concerning. It was kind of flaking and looked very diseased, and I knew I needed to go and see a dermatologist and maybe get it burned off. And I thought, this is definitely, I'm not a doctor, but it seemed like it was precancerous or even cancerous, frankly. So I've been wearing the patch on that spot. So I sometimes forget, but most days. And over the past few weeks, it is now, I'm just looking at it right now. It's somewhere between the size of an eraser head on a pencil. And it used to be the last time I spoke to you was the size of a dime. Now it's closer to the size of a pencil eraser.
Yeah.
And it's very thin. It doesn't have any depth to it. So what it feels like to me is it's brought the diseased tissue to the surface. And so it's almost like I've just got a scrape or a cut that's healing. So I'm no longer concerned about it particularly. I'm not even going to try to find a dermatologist because by the time I book an appointment and get to see the guy, I know it's going to be completely gone.
Yeah.
Um, so, so, those are the things that I can see with my own eyes.
Yeah.
Goodness only knows what's going on inside my body that I might have other things I don't even know about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, so I'm really sold on it. I have to be a brand partner and because I'll be on these for the rest of my life, so I need to lower my cost.
Yeah, we're going to get into that. We're going to get into that at the end of the presentation. But thank you, Guy, for sharing.
You're
And so
welcome.
excited for you. And how long have you been on this patch? And when did you first start noticing the skin sloughing off or the skin conditions improving?
Um, I've lost track. It's maybe been 4 months, 3 or 4 months,
Yeah, it hasn't been long.
and I really noticed, the results. I've had results that over just a few weeks that are amazing, and then I'll move the patch around. So that's, everyone's got different issues, but
Yeah.
really this thing with the hand, I can't tell you, like I could not fake that. My
Mhm.
hand is, and I was even going to give up coffee because it made it worse. Well, it was my first day on a new job I'm doing, and I've had like four black coffees today, and it's still not shaking, which
You got
is
to get
kind
off
of
the
amazing.
coffee for different reasons, Guy.
Well, I gather if you have like 1 or 2 cups of black coffee and it's made the right way,
Yeah.
coffee can actually be okay for you. But yeah, you have to be careful. But yeah, anyway, that's
Yeah.
my share.
Awesome,
Thank
Guy. We're
you.
super happy for you. So
Well, thank
excited.
you.
And thank you so much for sharing tonight. So, we are going to get into why all of these, well, three people, and I know that there's others on the call. I know Terry, Heidi, you guys all have testimonials too. So, we try to mix them up every week when we come on these calls, but there are powerful testimonials. And we're going to share why people are having such a wide variety of testimonials and why this is working systemically all over the body, which is super exciting. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to talk about, different testimonials throughout my presentation. And I do want to start off with, so this is my sponsor. This is Diane Hunt on the left-hand side. She's the one that introduced me to this patch. Well, actually, it was probably 18 months ago, and I didn't give her the time of day for a couple of months. But anyway, after months of suffering from heart and lung issues, from being sick, she was open to trying the patch. So this was over 2 years ago when she started the patches, and because it was something natural with no side effects, and so within 24 hours of her being patched, she was no longer short of breath. Her heart palpitations went away. She was back exercising, doing her intense HIIT training. 2 weeks later, and for those of you that are familiar with the Orange Theory, the HIIT training, so she was back doing that 2 weeks later. After a month, her dry eye and floaters went away in her eyes. A year and a half later, she no longer needed her reading glasses. Her eyebrows, her eyelashes have grown in, her spider veins disappeared, gray hair gone. She then introduced them, well, she introduced them to her dad actually right away as well. Her 80-year-old father, he was a huge skeptic. He's pictured there on the right-hand side. This picture is actually of them both after her dad won 3 out of the 4 games of racquetball against Diane. This was a couple of months ago in the winter, whereas 3 years ago, there was no way he could do that. He actually had sciatica pain, gout, plantar fasciitis, numbness in his leg, limited mobility and strength. Now all of that is gone. Now, what's important to note here is that it took him 4 months before he saw any results, but he was consistent with it. He continued to wear it. Diane was encouraging him to wear it. And so by month 4, this guy had a new lease on life. And he's actually been on my call before to provide his powerful testimonial. It's super emotional. But this is the reason why I joined LifeWave and started with the X39 15 months ago. So now we're going to get into why these patches have had such a profound effect on so many people's lives. And so right off the bat, though, I want to say that LifeWave products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, prevent any disease or medical condition. This patch is not a medical device that requires FDA approval. It's FDA recognized as a general wellness product. Oops. Okay, and so this is super fascinating. Did you know? I mean, I certainly did not know this 15 months ago, that as we age, we lose healthy stem cells. And this is the healing and the repair mechanism that our bodies rely on. So our stem cells actually go dormant. So by the age of 30, healthy stem cells decrease by 60%. By the age of 60, those healthy stem cells decrease by 90%. And unfortunately, not only is this natural aging process contributing to our decline in health, but unfortunately, the world we live in, the modern age of consumerism and convenience, we are inundated with toxins and poisons and chemicals in our environment, in our air, in our water, in our food, in the man-made synthetic radiation that's beaming on me right now. All of this leads to cellular dysfunction, and our bodies require healthy, active stem cells to heal and repair the body. Stem cells are the undifferentiated cells that turn into any cell in the body that's needed. So they become your heart cells, your lung cells, your liver cells, your hair cells, even your brain cells. And who doesn't need more brain cells these days, right? And so, sure, we know, we're familiar with stem cell therapy, but we question, right? Where do those stem cells come from? What's at the end of that needle? Stem cell therapy, we know, is expensive. It's not readily available. It's not accessible. It's invasive, it's risky, and it's actually only about 50%. And actually, I've heard recently 30% effective because they just stay local to the injection site. And so, this is where regenerating your own stem cells is exciting, and why this phototherapy patch is such a powerful option. So many of you may have heard about phototherapy. I mean, there's nothing new about it. It's been around since the dawn of time. It's actually something that all living beings depend on. The sun is nature's original phototherapy, signaling our bodies to make essential vitamin D and also signaling other vital processes in the body. But photobiomodulation is a type of light therapy or phototherapy that uses specific wavelengths of light to stimulate cells that then boost energy production, promotes healing, reduces inflammation, improves blood flow. It helps with tissue repair. And what's exciting is that it is accessible, it's non-invasive, it's affordable, and risk-free. So now, what if I told you that these little patches use this specific type of light therapy to increase a naturally occurring copper peptide? Well, that's exactly what this X39 patch does. And so through this process of photobiomodulation, it increases the production of our own, of human GHKCU copper peptide. And this is known as the holy grail of age reversal. It is not synthetic. It's not a peptide that you are injecting. These are not exogenous. They are your own. They are naturally occurring. But unfortunately, just like with stem cells, copper peptide also, this GHKCU, decreases with age. So this unique copper peptide was actually isolated back in 1973 by Dr. Lauren Picard. So there is 50 years of research to back it up. And you can do all kinds of research for yourself, find out all kinds of studies about copper peptide GHKCU on pubmed.gov. So this is a public online repository of scientific research. So we know the incredible benefits of this copper peptide. It supports tissue repair and regeneration. It boosts collagen and elastin. It has multiple anti-inflammatory, anti-anxiety, anti-pain, and even anti-cancer properties. GHKCU is also known to reset over 4,000 genes in our genome. So basically resetting your DNA in your cells to a younger, healthier state. But here's the clincher. GHKCU reactivates your own dormant stem cells, and it does this through the power of this patch. So LifeWave X39 is a small wearable phototherapy patch. It's about the size of a quarter. I wear it here on my wrist. It's a patented product that uses this process of photobiomodulation. So using your body's own infrared heat. We are all light beings. We all emit this low-level infrared light, this infrared heat. We are warm to the touch. We know the heat coming off us, when military wear those night vision goggles. So there is nothing in this patch that is going into your skin or into your body. It actually acts like a mirror, reflecting specific light frequencies back into the body, signaling biological changes at the cellular level. The patch consists of organic materials such as amino acids, sugar, oxygen, water, and salt that form this crystal lattice structure that reflect these wavelengths of light. So what's exciting is that these patches are non-transdermal. They're latex free. They do not contain any drugs or stimulants or medications. So they're safe to use without interfering with any medications. So there are no contraindications because nothing is being absorbed into your skin. All right, so here's where it gets exciting and what it can do for you, for your loved ones. So number one, it reduces inflammation and pain. And why this is so important is because we know that a fundamental common thread in all chronic diseases is inflammation. It improves strength and stamina and energy levels. And it does this because it specifically targets the mitochondria to help make more energy in the cells. And that is why people experience this energy boost. Often right away. Sometimes it's a little bit gradual because there's a lot of healing and repair work that's going on. It improves muscle and bone density, strengthening and building lean, strong muscles and bones. We know that Olympians, professional athletes use this to gain a competitive edge, but it's great for anyone, right? Wanting to level up their physical game. It helps with mental clarity. It reduces stress. I've definitely noticed this in myself with less brain fog, more mental clarity, not forgetting things. It balances hormones. It eases anxiety, also helpful for hormonal cycle regulation for women. It improves hair growth and skin appearance with increased collagen and elastin production. Both men and women are reporting new hair growth, returning back to their natural hair color, as Marsha's stating. It helps with wound healing and scars. We know that surgeons are recommending their use on their patients pre and post surgery for faster healing. It improves sleep with many, many people reporting deeper sleep, having vivid dreams. This is one of the most common benefits people have right off the bat. This has had a huge benefit for me. And sleep is so important because this is when the healing and the repair work happens in the body. And what really sets this apart from anything out there is that this little patch works systemically. So it works to repair and heal all over the body with a 2100% stem cell proliferation rate. So now let's look at the long-term results. So within the first few days, your body is actually starting to reset over 4,000 genes, whether you feel this or not. Now, that is no small feat because we actually have around only 20,000 genes in our genome. So resetting 4,000 is significant. Some of you may have heard the benefits of red wine and that molecule that it contains that resets 2 genes, resveratrol, but we're talking about 4,000 genes with this patch. Then within 6 weeks, the brain becomes more balanced, more mental clarity, less brain fog, more focus, better memory. People reporting less anxiety, less depression, many people coming off their anxiety meds, antidepressants. What a gift and a blessing, right? With so many people suffering from mental health issues in our world. Within 3 months, collagen increases. So, often people think about collagen as having to do with aesthetics, skin appearance, skin, hair, and nails. But collagen is actually the most abundant protein in the body. It's needed all throughout our vascular system, our blood vessels, our fascia, which supports our organs. Collagen is the master protein in our body, and we can create it with this patch. Again, it's not taking some exogenous supplement, a marine supplement, a beef supplement. It is producing our own collagen. Within 6 months, the heart actually reverses in age by 8 years. Many, many testimonials about people no longer in AFib, no longer requiring surgery, coming off their blood pressure medications. Really powerful testimonials and studies with improved heart function. Okay, so how do you wear it? This is super simple. It's adhesive. It's medical grade tape. So you stick it on the body, stick it on the skin, stick it where it hurts. What I love about it is that it's activated by your own heat. So you can even put it in your pocket, stick it on your undergarments, and it is going to be effective. That's why you don't want to transport them, on you in a pocket, because it will activate. So I usually wear mine on my wrist if I'm wanting to advertise it, but you can really put it anywhere on the body. You have pain, obviously stick it on the pain site. Wear it for 12 hours during the day. It's a daytime patch. It does give you some energy, but it does set you up for a great sleep at night. So you take it off before bed. It's disposable. There's a little bit of life left in it, so you can actually put it on your pet, wrap it around your dog's collar. They get the benefit from the rest of the patch. You put a new one on the next day. So you want to make sure there is a break from the stimulation of light. Otherwise, the body just gets used to it. It's not as effective, and we call that attenuation. So the light energy in our body actually works off of the water network in our body. So it's very important to keep hydrated. So drinking, good quality filtered water with electrolytes. So a good quality sea salt, unrefined salt, because it has all those trace minerals, those electrolytes in it. Those are the minerals that help to pull the water into the cells. And that actually is what hydrates the inside of the cells and how we keep hydrated. So it's not just a matter of drinking regular old water. You really want to add that unrefined salt or electrolytes. And because this is working through a copper peptide, it's important that we have copper available in the body. So great sources of copper include organ meats. I know everybody's favorite, beef liver, which is actually a superfood in general. Oysters are great. Other shellfish are great. Avocados also high in copper. Nuts such as cashews, sunflower seeds. Also, just a little piece of dark chocolate, the bitter 90% dark chocolate though, just a little corner can actually give you enough copper for the day. So what to expect? I definitely encourage you to take note of your current state and specific issues. So even taking those before pictures, before you start patching, you want to take pictures of your skin, your hair, your scars, your veins, your moles. Write out your wish list, track your progress. We provide a health tracker to new users to track progress. It is important to remember that every body is different. Everyone has a different, medical state or state of health, different experience, a different toxic load. So you want to give it time. David Schmidt, the inventor, recommends committing to it for a month for every decade you are old. But after 3 months, 97% of users experience a noticeable difference. And so it's definitely important to be patient and consistent. And although we might want these patches to do something specific, the body knows best and it's extremely intelligent. It is going to heal and repair and do what it needs to do in a priority sequence. So sometimes your body will focus on areas you didn't even expect. So you might have started patching due to knee pain, but you actually may start to feel less anxious and more mental focus. And this is exactly the experience of a good friend of mine. She just noticed this big weight had been lifted off her shoulders, and then it was her knee pain that went away a few weeks later. Also, healing takes energy. So if you are tired in the beginning, listen to your body. You want to rest, get that extra sleep, because that is when the healing and the repair work takes place. You want to practice deep breathing, allow that oxygen to get in, allow that circulation to happen. That's always a good practice. And just something to note that, yes, you might feel a little bit unwell at the beginning. You might have that effect, or might just be exhausted. Likely that is because you're stirring up a lot of those toxins and you just need to clear them. And that's also where the deep breathing comes in, keeping yourself hydrated, keeping those detox pathways open as well. Okay, so I'm going to show some more before and after pictures. So here you can see the progression of growth of hair growth on the left-hand side. So this is over a 6-month period with the hair really filling in. You can see that part closing in. As I said, lots of testimonials about natural hair color returning, hair growth becoming thicker. Okay, then the comparison shots on the right-hand side. So this is quite astounding. We know that Marsha had some amazing results with her curvature of the spine. So this is a woman with scoliosis. Scoliosis, again, the curvature of the spine. You can see this woman was wearing the X39 and another patch. This is the Ice Wave patch for pain. This is one of the patches that David Schmidt, the inventor, created before the X39. Many people experience significant pain reduction or loss of pain just with the X39 alone. But this woman was wearing the Ice Wave and the X39, and this healing took place in a 4-week period. So here on the left-hand side, this woman suffering from a skin condition called vitiligo. This condition is where the skin becomes depigmented due to a lack of melanin. It's often referred or related to autoimmune disease. However, as you can see, it virtually disappears after this woman wore the X39 stem cell patch. Then on the right-hand side, this remarkable difference in the before and after photos of this surgical wound. So healing after only 2 days on this patch. This is a knee replacement. As I said, there are surgeons that are using this in their practice. They're recommending these patches for their patients pre and post surgery due to the fast healing time. Okay, so when we talk about brain health and coherence, so this is a really interesting image, this comparison shot. This is an image of a functional EEG. It's a brain scan of a 77-year-old woman. On the left-hand side, so this is session 1 before she starts patching. The red in that image showing high inflammation of the brain, lack of brain coherence. And then after only 3 weeks, you can see session 2 where there's no more red, no more inflammation. The dark blue is actually a low energy state, but the green is where you start to see some more coherence come in. Then at 6 weeks, the third session, you can see there's still no inflammation, but a lot more of that green coming in, indicative of the higher brain coherence. And again, this is after only 6 weeks on the X39. Okay, so I'd love to share with you and introduce you to the genius behind it all. David Schmidt is the CEO of this 20-year-old company, LifeWave. He actually has over 200 patents to his name now. He started working with the US government way back when. He was actually part of the Navy SEAL program, the Navy SEAL survival program, where he was creating something that could keep the SEALs alert, mentally focused on missions that lasted 36 hours. And that's where this first patch of LifeWave was born. That was his first patent. Then David found himself through his networks, through his connections at Stanford University, putting those original energy enhancer patches on the US Olympic swim team. And they ended up having tremendous success with it. They all set personal records. But this was all 20 years ago. In 2008, David realized that the future of medicine was in stem cells. And that's when he began to figure out a way that he could leverage the natural stem cells that are inside the human body. So after 10 years of research, $4.5 million later, by 2020, he had received a 20-year patent on this X39. And the company went from this steady state $20 million company to closing out 2024 over 600 million. So a 3,000% growth rate in 4 years. There really is nothing else like it on the market. And so LifeWave has been recognized for this massive growth by Direct Selling News with the Bravo Growth Award. And so this honors companies with the highest year-over-year revenue growth on the Global 100 list, companies that are not only scaling their business, but setting new benchmarks for the entire industry. LifeWave has received this Bravo Growth Award for 2 years in a row now. And so there is really no competition out there in the market. This is a novel product. No one else has this. No one else can have this because we have a 20-year patent on it. There is a 22-page patent, but this one paragraph really says it all. Elevates copper peptide, activates stem cells, improvements in strength, stamina, pain relief. So the patent is on the structure, the material in the patch, where the patch reflects specific frequencies of light back into the body. So there are clinical studies that show significant increase in the production of GHKCU measured by blood samples, urine analysis, other lab analysis. And in order to get a patent, you have to prove that it works. So you can check out all of the patents, the studies, testimonials, really powerful testimonials, really great interviews at this website down in the bottom right corner. This is it, info.com. It's a great website, as I said, with videos explaining the technology, David Schmidt being interviewed, doctors being interviewed. And there's a whole section on powerful testimonials, and there's a whole category for children. There's categories on neuropathy, neurological improvements. It runs the gamut. So powerful testimonials there. I encourage you to check out that site. So what we've introduced you tonight goes far beyond the surface, because it's not just about less pain or more energy. It's about what that healing allows you to do with your life, because maybe it's more confidence that comes when your body is finally repairing at the root. Maybe it's being able to go back to a job you had to give up because of the pain you were in. Maybe it's getting your life back, thriving instead of just surviving. Or maybe it's hitting new physical goals in the gym, or finally leveling up your physical game. And for some, it's also financial freedom with the momentum of this company. So simply just sharing with friends and family, you can offset the cost of your patches, maybe make a car payment, or even create a life of abundance. This is the power of the patch. And so I want to show you how you can get started. So LifeWave offers 3 options to enroll. These prices are in US dollars and for a month's worth of patches. So it's 30 patches in a sleeve, or, it's an envelope of 30 patches. So first you can enroll as a retail customer paying full pop retail price. We see practitioners in the States set themselves up like this, offering this to their patients. But of course, we promote getting set up with the wholesale pricing of $99 US. So you have 2 options to set you up. You can sign up as a preferred customer, commit to a monthly subscription, or as a brand partner. And so we typically recommend the brand partner option because not only do you take advantage of the wholesale pricing, but you also secure a spot on the team. You can leverage the incredible momentum this company is experiencing by building a business without additional cost or overhead, just the cost of your patches. And so what we often see is that people begin to experience the success of the patches. They naturally share them with others where they can earn commission, and sometimes they end up building a business on a full-time basis. We have many of us on our team that saw the opportunity and are building successful businesses. So signing up as a brand partner, there is no pressure to share or build a business, nor is there an additional investment or commitment. You're just paying for the cost of your personal patches. Should you ever wish to to share it and earn commission, you are properly placed to do so. You're set up to do that. So there are several enrollment kits available to get you started. As you can see with these packages, the more you purchase upon signing up, the better the value. The cost of those sleeves come down considerably for your initial order. You can upgrade anytime throughout the enrollment kits. You just pay the difference. You receive the difference in the number of sleeves. That way you can start sharing them with friends and family in your life, your aging parents, loan them out to people as they wait for their order. It's fun to get people started on them as they wait for their order to come in, and having extra sleeves on hand to set you up for success right out of the gate. So we do have a very attractive compensation plan for those interested in sharing the product. It is a binary compensation plan where you are building 2 teams, a left and a right team. And so to hit the first rank of manager and open up the full comp plan, it's as easy as sharing with 4 people in your life that you love, that you would like to see benefit from these patches. It took me a couple of weeks to hit this rank when I first started, but just last month I hit the 2nd highest rank in the company, presidential director. And so in just 15 months with this company, without any direct sales experience, I've been able to surpass the monthly income that I earned in my 23-year career in HR. And as I said, I am a newbie in direct sales. So it goes to show that we do have an incredible leadership team that you too can leverage. This company is on this massive trajectory, and our team is the #1 team in the whole company because it has the incredible leadership and supports and training and systems in place to grow your business. No prior experience or training in sales or network marketing required, just a passion to help people with the freedom model: health freedom, financial freedom, and time freedom. But it really all starts with your health. Without health, nothing else matters. Health is foundational. So I want to thank you so much for coming on the call today. I encourage you to reach out to the person who invited you on this call. They can guide you and set you up with the best pricing and package available. And I would love to open it up for questions to those new on the call tonight. We want to keep the questions related to this presentation. But to kick it off, my closing question for you is, what if investing in your health gave you the greatest return of your life? All right, so just stop sharing my screen. And okay, I don't think there's any questions in the chat, but feel free to put your hand up or unmute. And I would love to take questions tonight. Is wearing more than one patch better? Can you have results faster if you wear more than one patch? So I've heard that, I mean, one patch is all that you need. When you put on another patch, you're really only gaining another 20%. of effectiveness. So no, I don't believe that you necessarily would want to double up on the patches. One patch is going to do it. One patch is what activates the healing in your body. It's working through your light, the light, the infrared light in your body. However, I have heard recently, like for acute injuries, if you blew out your knee because you were jumping on a trampoline and came down hard, this is what happened with one of our leaders in our team, and he actually triple patched, he triple stacked the X39 on top of one another, and like hours later or next day later, everything's cleared up and healed. So that is one testimonial, and actually, I think he got that advice from a doctor on the team. So, but I mean, realistically, no. I think we all want to be, we all want to. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. But I don't think that we need to stack patches on a regular basis. So maybe for acute injury, that might, you might want to experiment with that, but otherwise, no. I mean, you're going to get the full effect just with one X39 patch. Is it a lifelong commitment? Will there be benefits after many years, or do you plateau at some point? So what's super interesting about this is that, with Diane, her being on it, so she's probably been on it for close to 3 years now, and it just keeps getting better and better for her. You keep age reversing. I mean, this isn't just about anti-aging. This is about reactivating your dormant stem cells, and you're just going to keep getting better and better. Yes, we have things that we can't control in our life, different toxins and chemicals in our environment that unfortunately we're not able to control. But I do believe that this patch is going to help with the aging process. It's also preventative. So people can make a personal decision about how long they want to wear it for. So what are your goals? I think it really comes down to that. So if someone potentially, I talk about this knee pain or inflammation or knee injury, and your knee pain is gone, 3-4 months later, are you going to stop wearing the patches if now it's helping your skin and your hair, and your wrinkles are less? Yeah, I mean, not just aesthetics, but even internally, like what is going on? As Guy is saying, who knows what's going on underneath the hood in our system? We don't know. And what's super interesting too is that I heard a stat recently where we don't experience or feel symptoms of disease within the body until 70% of that mitochondria is dysfunctional in our cells. And that's when we start to experience symptoms. We go to the doctor, they slap a label on it. And so it takes time to get to that state of health, negative state of health. It's going to take a little bit of time to get to a healthy state of health. And I would just encourage you to, make that a personal choice of yours, depending on what your goals are. But definitely, I think that there would be improvements the longer you use it. And that's why, many doctors that have been on this X39 patch for, 3-4 years in the States are just continuing to use it. They continue to see positive results. Oh, good question, Joyce. So is it possible to buy direct from the producer rather than buying through MLM models? So no. I mean, so you may have seen like on eBay, Amazon, Walmart are selling supposedly LifeWave X39 patches. They're all counterfeit. They're coming from China if you read the fine print on there. So there is a lot of counterfeit product out there that you really want to be careful about. I think though, on Amazon, LifeWave has made a deal with them where there is a LifeWave Amazon account, but you're not paying any less. You're actually paying more, and I believe it's a retail cost, so you're not going to save anything. What I've learned about this MLM model is that I love it. To be honest, I found direct sales and network marketing super cringy before, and I just believe that we've all been conditioned to believe that, because I do believe that we are the distribution model. So instead of the big conglomerates and the big corporate players out there that are advertising on billboards and spending millions of dollars to get their name out there to get exposure, do those products work? Are those, poisonous, toxic products, but they splash so much of their name out there that everyone knows their household name, so everyone thinks, okay, well, it's got to be good. This is through a referral model. It's through word of mouth, and so the owner is paying 60% of the revenue to the loyal customers. And we are the distribution model distributing it around the world, and we get a piece of that. So I think it's an amazing model. Oh, is there a patch for brain glutathione levels? Have forgotten the number. Does it also perform as the X39? Okay, so first off, glutathione. So the X39 does increase glutathione by 30%. And so it does have this natural detoxification going on. That's another reason why some people may experience a little bit of detoxing effects or tired or lethargy a little bit at the beginning. But there is also a separate phototherapy patch that LifeWave has out that has been developed that is a glutathione patch that elevates our naturally occurring like this is the master antioxidant naturally occurring in the body, and it increases it by 300%. In Canada, it's called Renew, because Health Canada made us, change the branding for that. So, but yeah, and so it actually, glutathione is at the $69 price point US. So it's known as a regular patch, and this is the premium patch because it's really the patch that does the most for the most people. It's the only one that reactivates our dormant stem cells at a price point of $99 US. Yeah, you're welcome. Marcia, you have a question?
I just want to add something to what you said about the business model that David Schmidt uses. So all the people on here, you would not have known about this Zoom call tonight if someone hadn't told you. And so that's really what this business model is. It's word of mouth, relational marketing, it's a social structure.
Mhm.
And so you know about Zoom, you know about the call tonight because someone told you.
And David Schmidt, I mean, when he was debating, I don't think that he was a huge fan necessarily of network marketing at the beginning either, but he saw the benefits of it, and he realized that the reason why he was with the US government and then the Stanford swim team was because of his network.
Yeah.
And he didn't want his product. I think GNC actually approached him, and he did not want his product just sitting on a shelf. Tamara.
Yeah, hi, Beth. So I personally know the answer to this, but I think it might be a good question for people who are considering buying in as a brand partner or a preferred customer. But if you are, for example, a snowbird and you set up your account, obviously, in your home country, but you're going to be traveling, can you get the patches wherever it is that you're traveling to?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I didn't touch on that. We're in 84 countries, and each one of those countries have a distribution center. So you're not paying duty or additional shipping. I mean, we do pay shipping, right? But it comes from a district. So in Canada, the distribution center is outside Toronto and Brampton. Each country has a distribution center. So you set up your account in the country that you reside in. But yes, I mean, if you're traveling to Mexico, to the States, you can change your shipping address to wherever you're going to be receiving those patches. And so that's an easy update in your account. I think the other important thing to note here is that once you create, or if you have a brand partner or someone that that introduced you to us, to the LifeWave patches, and they set up your account for you, you have complete access over your account. I mean, it is a one-click cancel. There is no long-term commitment here. So, going back to how long do I have to use this for, it's your personal choice. Definitely, I recommend people committing to it for at least 3 to 6 months, for sure. Like, that's a given. It's not just kind of like wait and see after a month. Many people don't experience their benefits until months later. And that's just their body working on healing internally. So you're not necessarily feeling what's going on in there. Back to your question, Tamara. So yes, I mean, you can definitely have it shipped wherever LifeWave ships the product in those 84 countries and growing.
Perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right. Anyone else on the call tonight have any questions? All right. So I definitely encourage you to reach out to the person that introduced you to this, that invited you on the call tonight. They may have, Marilyn, did you have your hand up? Yeah. Sure. Can you unmute? Great.
Better? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Does X39 affect parasites?
Well, it has a detoxing effect. It also helps with your natural immune system. So, in terms of warding off things that, but I mean, I've also learned that we need parasites in our body to get rid of the heavy metals or the detoxing process. Like sometimes they're there as a protection mechanism, and it's not about cleansing them all out. So, I mean, there's different camps, and there's more research I think to be done there. All I know is that this X39 is helping to support the body do what it does best, which is heal. So, and it's not even the patches that are doing the work. All it's doing is supporting your body do what is designed to do. So, I mean, if those parasites are a protection mechanism, or if, they're kind of getting out of hand, I don't doubt that this X39 is going to help to support your body to heal and repair.
Okay. Also, I was going to ask, because I have a lot of stiffness in my hips, should I wear like an X30? Sorry. Should I wear Ice Wave one at each hip, or should I do X39 or?
Yeah, okay. So my answer for that, so anyone in pain, I always start people off with the X39 because some people have immediate results or even within a week, and their pain has significantly diminished. The other thing with the X39 is that is what is getting to the root of your pain and inflammation. The ice wave, yes, it can provide immediate pain relief if the X39 doesn't. So that's why I'm suggesting everyone start with the X39. Even so, if you're in a lot of pain and you start with X39 and you're like, I want immediate pain relief, maybe even after 15 minutes, if you're not going to be patient and wait, to heal and repair the body, maybe weeks on out, you can put the ice wave on after. But I find sometimes the X39 is going to help. The ice wave is a 2-patch system. For those of you that aren't aware, it is another phototherapy patch that works with eliminating that pain instantaneously. The thing with ice wave is that you need to be patient in terms of patch placement. So while you have pain on the hip, you're going to want to be patient and move the patch around to different areas of your body, likely around your hip. And there's different protocols that your sponsor can share with you. I mean, there's even different YouTube videos about patch placement for the ice wave that are super helpful too. But I would start with the X39, and then you could use, and even start with the X39 on your hip, and then use, yeah,
Okay.
yep.
Yeah, I hadn't thought of that. I
Yeah,
just usually put it on the back of my neck or on below my belly button,
yep. Yeah, and those are the two places that David Schmidt did his studies, like for consistency's sake with his studies and with his research in order to get the patents and prove that it works, he had to be really consistent with the patch placement. So that's why we see those two places. That's where the studies were done. It was C7, so back of the neck, and then 2 finger widths underneath the navel. But really, we know that this patch works systemically all over the body. So you can really put it anywhere. And a lot of people, whether it's psychosomatic, putting it on the place of pain, yeah, and different even meridians or acupressure points too, could also be beneficial.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Heidi.
Yeah, I just wanted to share about the ice wave. So I work with a lot of people with chronic pain. And so I had a veteran here today and we tried the ice wave. We did the points on the feet, so one on the left, one on the bottom of the right, because he has a lot of um tingling and foot pain under both feet. So it was interesting because that position, it helped the tingling in his feet, but it didn't do anything to his shoulder. But then I said we didn't stick them on at this point. So then I brought them up to his shoulder and I did the clock method. And it was interesting because the first one, which is the patch in the pain, and then above it the white one at the 12 o'clock position, and he was just amazed at the decrease in pain. Like it was much better in his shoulder. And then I asked him about his feet and he said, oh, my feet don't feel the tingling. So it's really interesting. So to me, because of all these different pain points and the stress that it causes in the body, if we're taking out some pain somewhere, which is really stressing the system, we can affect other parts of the system. So that's really interesting what Beth was saying, to really try it in different places. But certainly I agree with Beth in saying, the more I learn about the patches, really the X39 and the other patches are really going to help at the physiological level to get to the root of the problem and to heal, right? But certainly the ice wave patches are a great non-medical alternative, to achieving the pain relief. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Heidi. Yeah, I agree. And actually, that is what won my husband over. Like a lot of the husbands I feel are huge skeptics, and he didn't know what I was getting into. And when he came home with a hockey injury, his neck and his hamstring, and that's when I put the ice wave on him, and he couldn't believe it. He was blown away, and he's been sold ever since. So sometimes it's handy to have those ice waves on hand, and some patience with patching protocol, like placement. Thanks for that, Heidi. All right. So 9:03, I appreciate you all, 32 of you, for being on the call tonight and being open to learning. Again, please reach out to the person that invited you on the call and they can answer more questions. They can sign you up, and can't wait to see you on the team. So have a great night, everyone. This recording will be on my YouTube channel at Beth Blackmore. Beth Blackmore on YouTube. It'll be there probably within an hour, and you can share far and wide. Take care, everybody. Have a great evening.